All right, so this is Bella and Edward's clutch for 2026. It's quite the variety pack. They have not had their first shed yet, so their colors are going to change pretty good bit when they've had their first shed, but I think I know the genetics on all these. So we've got the father, Edward, who is a lesser banana pastel, and we've got the mom, who is a pastel het genetic stripe, and these are their babies. So let's start with this guy, or this gal, right here. This is a gal, and I believe this is the only normal of the whole bunch. And even though we are a normal, because mom's kind of spectacular, we don't have a lot of the classic alien head on the pattern, just some. Mom tends to kind of give out these little top stripes here, even in a normal. And we kind of have a little pattern jumbling even in our normals when it comes to these two pairing together. So if we go up a notch, we'll take, say, this girl right here, tangled up. This is a pastel. And you can kind of see the difference between a pastel and a normal right here. It's a little more yellowy, and if we would unball, you could see we have a lot more blushing. So you see this little blush right here, and blush here. And if you look at the top, you'll probably find some more little blushy spots. And then if you look at the pattern, even less alien heads going on. All the little keyholes and eyeballs are gone from the aliens on this one. Blush, blush. And that is a pastel. If you look at our normal, you don't see those blushes. All right. And then if we go from there, we have another one here. Whoa now. Stay put. Also a pastel. Look at this nice blushing pattern on this one. This one might be a little bit better of a pastel than the other one. Very nice. It's got a little bit more yellowy color. It'll probably get a lot more yellow on its first shed. All right, hold on, buddy. This is also a female. So far, everything we've looked at is a female. Now, if we up this a notch, we'll go with this one right here. This is a super pastel. So we got a pastel from both mom and dad. And look at that, it's a dramatic difference. Way more yellow. Huge bits of blushing. Very nice orange patterning. And this is not typical for a super pastel. I'm just gonna blow our own horn here and say that Bella and Edward make spectacular super pastels. This almost looks like a zebra with the pattern changing that's going on with this super pastel. And the blushing is absolutely incredible. Look at that. And the pattern, you're not gonna find even the remnants of an alien head on this. This is just about as good as it gets for a super pastel in my opinion. And look at this head pattern. You see the blushing. A lot of times you get a super pastel, you end up with a completely blushed out, bald looking head. This is a super pastel, but look at the pattern on the head. It's actually a really nice white head stamp. It's not just a big bald out thing. This, you can't get better than this for a super pastel. All right, which segues nicely into this boy right here. That was also a female. This is the first boy we're looking at. This, if you'll recall, we just looked at a super pastel. This is the banana version of that super pastel. So we've got all that great super pastel blushing and patterning and yellowness with the banana on top, giving it that coral glow color. And look at the head stamp on this guy. Incredible. And this is a super pastel banana. And we've got that nice orange ringer on the tail. Very nice. All right. And when we move on, and this is one of the things I had trouble with our first clutch last year with these two, is lesser and banana tend to make things weird, and pastel all gets weird when you put them together. And it's really hard to tell, but I've got, with 2 clutches, I've now figured it out. This is a lesser, and this is a female. There's no banana, there's no pastel. This is literally just lesser. But as lessers go, here we go again, you can't get better than this. This is a stellar example of a lesser. Absolutely incredible. And if you move on from there, and we will contrast these two, what happens when you add pastel to the lesser? You get this. This is a pastel lesser. Now, it's really confusing because that pastel, when you combine with this lesser, gives it that orange color, and it makes you think it's banana. But if you actually do the light test on these eyeballs, this is not a banana. This is just a pastel lesser. So you get this, that pastel adds that orange blushing. And look at this pattern. Get in there. All right, I'm back. I ran out of storage on my phone. So as I was saying, this is a plain old lesser, an absolute stellar version of a lesser. This is a pastel lesser, which added this almost clown-like stripe to the back. We have no clown in this whatsoever, but look at that. That is like a clown pattern going down the back practically. And then we've got all this orange that makes us think banana, but it's not. It's just pastel combined with lesser. Now, add a little bit more. Let's up the ante a bit more, and let's get this guy right here. So this is a gal. All of our guys are bananas. None of our gals are bananas. This is a, hold on. This guy right here is a lesser banana, possibly pastel. I'm not 100%. I think we might be pastel, but we're definitely a lesser banana, probably a lesser banana pastel. And you can kind of see the difference here. You've got a little bit brighter orange going on. If I were to do the head flashlight test on this guy right here, you would see red glows through the eyes. And I imagine when he sheds, this orange will be a little bit brighter and it will be a little bit more obvious that he is banana. But really nice. And the thing about the lesser, when you combine it with this banana, is you end up getting an adult snake without the banana spots. So this guy will not get banana spots as he ages. Which segues into the next one, which would be this guy right here. What we have here is just a plain old banana pastel. And you can see from the side that he still maintains some of the alien head patterning, but we do get that little blushing there that you can have on a pastel or a banana, but not nearly as extreme as our super pastel banana here. You can kind of see the difference. The patterning being way more extreme on our super pastel banana versus our just regular pastel banana. And if you look at the head, we definitely have the pastel blushing on the head. If we were just banana and not pastel, this would be very, very orange on the top of the head here, rather than just have that little bit of orange there. But if you compare that to the super pastel banana head stamp, look at that. And that will probably be far more dramatic after we shed the first time. And that is basically our clutch.